During the French Revolution, Napoleon Bonaparte rose to power and proceeded to conquer the Italian states. Italy became part of the French Empire and thus imbibed the ideal of the revolution. During the Hundred Days' War, the period in which Napoleon, although defeated, returned from his exile and tried to consolidate power again. However, he was defeated by the Austrians in the Battle of Tolentino in 1815. The Congress of Vienna in 1815 aimed to restore Europe to its former position, but they couldn't undo everything. The desire for unification increased. They tried to set aside Napoleon's changes and restore old rulers on their thrones. Italy was once again divided into numerous states: the Grand Duchy of Tuscany, the Duchy of Parma, the Papal States, and the Kingdom of Two Sicilies. The Italian peninsula remained fragmented through the mid-1800s, but the concept of a united Italy began to really take root.
Cavour was a Piedmont statesman and prime minister from 1852 through 1861. He modernized Piedmont and used diplomacy to unite the northern Italian states. Charles Albert was the king of Piedmont who introduced the Statuto Albertino and instigated the First Italian War of Independence. He then abdicated monarchy after his forces were defeated by the Austrian army. Giuseppe Mazzini was an Italian activist whose efforts helped bring Italy's independence and unification. He was also the founder of Young Italy.
Giuseppe Garibaldi was a central figure in the Italian Risorgimento. He personally fought in and commanded many military campaigns that led to the formation of a unified Italy. Napoleon III was the Emperor of France who supported popular sovereignty and nationalism. French troops assisted Italian unification and defended the Papal States against annexation by Italy. Victor Emmanuel II was the King of Sardinia from 1849 to 1861. He assumed the title of king and became the first king of unified Italy since the 6th century. He held this title until his death in 1878.
The northern Italian states held elections in 1859 and 1860 and voted to join the Kingdom of Sardinia. This was a major step towards unification, while Sardinia gave Savoy and Nice to France. With the unification of Italy in 1861, the Kingdom of Sardinia became the Kingdom of Italy. The Italians entered the Papal States in September 1870 and annexed the Papal States and Rome to the Kingdom of Italy. On April 19, 1919, negotiations took place at the Paris Peace Conference over Italy's claims to territory in the former Austro-Hungarian Empire, which is the small addition seen on the 1919 map of Italy.
In 1833, the political society La Giovane Italia, established by Giuseppe Mazzini, organized the first revolts aimed at creating a unified Italy. Several patriots were either arrested or exiled. In 1843, more nationalistic revolts led by Mazzini and Vincenzo Gioberti proposed a different path towards unification: one Italy under rule of the Pope. In 1844, the Banderna brothers Attilio and Emilio Banderna organized another revolt to create a unified and democratic Italy, with Rome as its capital, but it was suppressed due to insufficient support. In 1846, the election of the Pope brought hope to Italy, and Gioberti's idea garnered support while Mazzini's fell into crisis.
The revolutions of 1848 were a series of revolutions throughout Europe against European monarchies that all ended in failure and suppression. The revolutions that took place in Italy were in the peninsula and Sicily, being led by the Kingdom of Sardinia. Even though all the revolutions failed, they paved the way for unification efforts in the future.
After victory in the First Italian War of Independence, the northern Italian states of Venetia and Lombardy were still controlled by Austria. The Piedmontese chief Cavour signed an alliance with Napoleon to drive the Austrians out of northern Italy. Austria declared war on Piedmont and France declared war on Austria. Italy and France both won the Battle of Magenta and Solferino, leading to peace talks between Austria and France. Lombardy was given to Piedmont Sardinia and France was given Savoy. Meanwhile, Sardinia continued to push for unification. On March 17, 1861, the Kingdom of Italy was pronounced in the Piedmontese capital Turin, and only Rome and Venetia remained separate.
The Third Italian War of Independence was between the Kingdom of Italy and the Austrian Empire. Italy was newly allied with Prussia as a result of the Austro-Prussian War. The Italian army was divided into two groups but had poor coordination and lacked communication. The war went on with several Prussian victories and Italian losses. In the end, Italy acquired Venetia from France after it was given to France by Austria. Italy's desire for unification was emboldened, with the Third War being a crucial step on the path to full unification.
The capture of Rome in 1870 was the final event in the long process of Italian unification. In 1871, Prussia attacked and France pulled its troops out of Rome to fight the Prussians. Italy saw this opportunity to successfully capture Rome, and they moved in. When the Italian army reached the Aurelian walls encompassing Rome, they placed the city under siege. The Pope, essentially being trapped in his own city, decided to surrender Rome. Latium was annexed to the Kingdom of Italy, and the unification of Italy was ended with the capture of Rome. It was made the capital of Italy the same year, and Parliament passed a law declaring the Pope Italy's spiritual leader.